Okay, so I'm going to show you how to add games onto the arcade. It's super easy, it only takes a couple minutes, and what you're going to need is your arcade plugged in, and you're going to need a little USB stick. It doesn't have to be big, just, you know, enough to hold whatever game you're trying to get. Usually they're just a couple megabytes. So if I go to File Explorer, you will see that I have a USB stick plugged in. It's completely empty, besides this folder named RetroPie. And I'll delete this and just show you that it's empty. So let's make a new folder in our USB stick, and let's name it RetroPie, RetroPie. This is the name of the software that the arcade's running on. And so the arcade will read this file and write its own files inside of it. So we're going to unplug this USB stick with this empty folder out of our computer, and we're going to just stick it in one of the empty USB slots on the arcade. And so I'm going to do that now. Just plug it into any slot. Okay, give it a couple seconds. If you have a USB stick with a blinking light, you know, the light will flash when it's writing. It won't take long. Okay, looks like it's done. Plug it out, or take it out of the arcade, plug it back into our desktop or laptop or whatever you got. Okay, and here's our USB stick. Here's our file. It was empty, but as we can see, the arcade has written some files inside for us. The ones we're interested is ROMs. These are the games. These are all systems that could be potentially added onto the arcade with the right software backing them up. Unfortunately, a lot of them don't run well enough to even be worth it. But the ones that are on your arcade, those all run perfectly fine, and they all got the software ready to go. And so just for demonstration purposes, let's pick one of the folders we want to look at, and let's do Game Boy Advance, which is GBA right here. So this will be the folder. As you can see, it's empty, but this is where we're going to add our Game Boy Advance games to. Where do we get Game Boy Advance games? Well, if you don't already have them, we'll get them off the internet. So let's go to Google Chrome, and the place I like to go just for a game or two is called EMU Paradise. That is EMUPARADISE. It'll take us to Google. It'll be the first result, and it's the www.muparadise.me. We go to here. Okay, so we are looking for games for the Game Boy Advance. There's two ways you can search. You can go through search the website. You could go down here for popular searches, popular sections. And one of the popular sections happens to be Game Boy Advance. So let's click on the Game Boy Advance ROMs. And now we're here. So what's the game we want? Well, we want Castlevania. So go to C, scroll on down, and we'll find Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. Here we go. Now there's two files. There's one with an E at the end, which is for Eurasia. That's where this version was released. And then there's a U, and that is for Universal. Both of these files are good. If one of them doesn't work though, go ahead and get the other one, and odds are one of them will work. I usually do the U, but you're free to do. We'll do the E. So we'll go to this version. On this screen, there's a lot of junk that you don't need to worry about. We want download links. Number 8. We'll click on this. It'll drop us down. And we want direct download links. Don't worry about anything else. Click on direct download links. We'll be able to one more page. There might be some ads and some other fake download buttons. Don't worry about any of that. Just worry about direct download right here. And it'll be a link like this. We will click on it, and then it will ask where we want to download it to. You can download it anywhere, or you can put it straight on the USB stick, which is what I'm going to do. So I'll go into ROMs, I'll go into GBA, and I'll just download it there. Boom. Okay, it'll only take a couple seconds because it's a very small file. And now if we go into the USB stick, we will see that our file's there. Now, this file is zipped, meaning it's been compressed a little bit, which the arcade can read a compressed file. So if you wanted to right now, you could be done. But what I like to do is I like to unzip the file, which I use 7-Zip. It's a free program. If you don't know how to unzip a file, I wouldn't worry about it. But I use 7-Zip, and I'll just extract it here. The only reason I do this is because it'll load quicker. If the arcade has to read a zipped file, it has to manually unzip it, and then you can play the game. It's only a couple seconds, but hey, why not? So, since I unzipped it, I can delete this file. I may as well delete it. I'll delete that file. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this, because this file name is what you're going to see on the menus. So I'm just going to shorten it up. I'll leave the E just so I know what version I'm using. And there we go. That looks much better. It's a .gba file, which the system can read. And now we're done. So the last thing I'm going to do is unplug this USB stick from my computer and plug it into the arcade one more time. The arcade will figure out that there is new files on this USB stick, and it will copy them over to itself. What you want to do is plug it into the arcade, just leave it alone for a minute, wait 60 seconds. If you're adding bigger games or more games at the same time, give it longer. But when you think it's done copying over, that the stick stops blinking or something, go ahead and unplug the arcade, give it a second, and then plug it back in. And your new files should be there in the under whatever section you put it in. So since we put it in the GBA folder, it will be under the Game Boy Advance games. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. But I hope that helped out, and thanks for watching.